has proved what I've always told these fellows. When the BBI thing started, and when we got to the rally stage, I said, and I think it was on this bench, if some people don't take care, they will be isolated. They will look desperate. They will look like small boys. When men are in the field playing football, small boys are playing small balls outside.
There's nothing wrong with small boys.
No, we have small boys, both as grandchildren and children. That is exactly how Murkomen came out and his team, both in Kitui and in Meru. It almost happened to Wetangula and Mudavadi in Kakamega. They were sharp enough, belatedly though, to notice that thing. Now, I am a teacher, and if I convert this bench into a class, I would have asked you questions, but because of time, I'll only ask one student to answer the question. Who is the master of rallies and crowds in this country? Onyonka, answer on behalf of the rest of the class. Raila Odinga. So, when you take pride, in walking out of a meeting with a small following, if Raila were to want to do that and you are the president of Kenya and your name is William Samoei Ruto and Raila comes to Uhuru Park, then he leaves. You remain alone in Uhuru Park. There is almost no place in this country apart from Mount Kenya region where Raila cannot control the crowd. If he went to Eldoret and walked out, I'm telling you, more than a quarter of the crowd will walk out with Raila.
Thank you.
So you are not scoring anything.
Right, thank you.
But you could be setting yourself for problems.
Okongo Mogeni.
Yeah, I think the people who are political competitors have spoken. I wanted to talk about the issue you have raised on transfer of power.
Yes.
Yeah. So just
as a one-liner, because also we are looking at time, that is still a developing story.
Yeah,
we can actually handle it next week as well.
I didn't want you to mislead the public. I think the proper article you should quote is 187. 187. 187. Not 157.
Yeah, not one. Thank you.
Not
thank
157.
You. 187. Thank you.
Yeah. So do I have time to comment on it?
A one-liner on it?
Yeah, I think if you look at that article, there is no doubt that discretion is given to either level of government to transfer function to another level of government if that function can be effectively performed by the other level of government. So in terms of there being a discretion given to one level of government by the Constitution, the answer is yes. Two, the involvement of the County Assembly. If you read Section 26 of the Intergovernmental Relations Act, the obligation is just for the County Assembly to be notified by the governor that he has entered into an agreement with another level of government for the transfer of those functions. But the bigger picture for me is that I think these are test cases. We are doing a test case of the 47 county governments. We have picked one, transferred some essential functions, including the health and county planning. Let's see how this comes out. Let's see if Nairobi will be, we'll enjoy better services in Nairobi by deed of these transfer of functions. If the answer can be yes, then we would have found an answer to the problems facing devolution. If it doesn't, then we say...
So was all the avenues of...
Was it legal or illegal?
Yes, that's the question.
My answer is it's legal.
Okay.
If you read Article 187...
It's legal.
No, let me now... He said it's legal and he's articulated his point.
Let him finish
Please, then. Madam Cholet, in court we normally get time, we speak, then the other person responds. Otherwise you disorient us when you interrupt us so many times.
All right.
Yeah.
Just
so
continue.
in terms of the law, yes, the law was followed. Article 187 was invoked. As long as the County Assembly of Nairobi is notified, it's legal.
I think
public participation bit? Yes.
I want to draw the attention of Kenyans to my article on page 16 of the Saturday Nation. Yes, Article 187 of the Constitution allows for transfer of some functions from one government to another. Okay? And it says, but there are conditions to that transfer. It is an agreement by the governments, the respective governments. Then, Okongo Mogeni knows very well as a lawyer, you don't read one article in isolation. You must read them together. So when you say one government to another, as a good lawyer, the first thing I ask myself, what is the definition, definition of, I didn't say you're not, I said if you're a good lawyer now writing this, I then look at the definition of government. Definition of government, of the county government, in article, in chapter 11 of our constitution, clearly talks, and that's article 176. It says, there shall be a county government for each county, consisting of the county assembly and county executive county executive, which means when we talk about government, we are not talking about the governor. We are talking about the county assembly and the county executives. For Kenyans to know, the usual waziris that are in the counties. So there has to have been, that is what forms government. Just the way, and I put it simply for Kenyans to understand, does a football team consist of a captain, or does it consist of a captain and the team? So the governor is just a captain. The team is the county assembly and the county executive. So if this transfer of power was to be done legitimately.
What about national government?
It was to be done legitimately. Then what would have happened is that there should have been a process where the conversation begins from the county assembly, the county executive, they reach an agreement, then they send their governor to go and sign that agreement to them. Let me finish first.
No,
to go and sign. No, the definition of county government.
Just a moment. Yeah, let's have
it's just the definition of county government. And I will be proved right on this. I am not wrong. It's a very simple process of the law. Now, the question you should ask yourself is that unless you're telling us that the governor, who is an individual, can act on his own. And lastly, remember, there is a court decision that said that Sonko can no longer exercise duties as a governor and he can no longer sign anything on behalf of the county government. So you're violating, first of all, that decision to hand over Nairobi, or what they are calling the landmark agreement.
Thank you.
Is an illegality from the start. Remember, they should have, the county government constitutes of those two bodies that I said. If we allow that issue, in fact, I would have thought that the first people to complain is the MCAs.
Thank you.
And when you talk about notification, lastly, when the MCAs went, Nairobi MCAs went to State House, the ward reps sought clarification of their role in the new arrangement. They were told, you will find it in the deed of agreement, which means the county assembly members have not even read the agreement. So this is such breach, and I'm shocked that the Council of Governors is not taking issue. I'm shocked that the county assembly members are going to issue, and let me tell you, the court is going to overturn this decision.
Right. Pogisio, on
anyway,
that,
it is...
and also I want you to comment on Lusaka, the suspending probe into the Sonko deal as well.
Yes, let me just say something on that
briefly,
one.
Because
say something. Because when this issue of Nairobi came, and the deputy speaker, who was in the chair at that time, this is what you call a motion of adjournment. We adjourned to discuss this subject. The deputy speaker then evoked standing order number 1, which said to use his own discretion and referred a matter for discussion like that, which was for ventilation, to a committee. Now, there is a quagmire in terms of understanding what standing orders say about what you can refer to the committee. And so when the speaker, substantive speaker came, Lusaka came, he then had a question on the floor. He was asked to clarify, was that really the way we should go? And so for him, which the only reason he suspended it, and I want to make this very clear, he says, okay, for that matter, I'm going to consult the Hansard, consult even with my deputy and others, and come back with a decision. So the suspension is not forever. The suspension is until Tuesday. Until Tuesday. Until Tuesday, then he'll clarify the point.
All right, thank you.
Yes. And just to now come in on what the other matter.
30 seconds.
Okay, I know you don't have much time, but I think that we should then allow the interpretation to end somewhere instead of saying, like my sister there is saying, that the court will overturn. I mean, let's not allow, we are not here to make those kind of conclusions, because we say it's legal or illegal, but I think by that time, these lawyers, this guy will be on the opposing side, the other one on the other side. Nobody wants to say, I'm going to lose or already a case before it's done.
All right.
See, I think
30 seconds.
For me, Nairobi County was a matter of national interest. The city had become totally dysfunctional. The governor doesn't have a deputy governor. He didn't have half of his cabinet. I think these are matters that the court and maybe the Supreme Court will end up interpreting. What happens when you have a county government which is dysfunctional, where the governor has been taken to court on an alleged corruption matter, where you have no deputy? Does the speaker have the responsibility? All these things, I think it is good that this happened.
Thank you.
I think President Uhuru was proactive.
30 seconds over.
It is something that we need to wait and see what the ruling is.
There is the bar. There is a lot that doesn't make sense about Nairobi County, including the recent takeover. There's a lot to be worried about and to be concerned about. But I want to use this to say one small little thing. If anybody had doubt in this country where power resides, how decisions in this country can be made. Let them look no further than that. That is very symbolic. That is very telling. So those who are making noise in this country about certain things, they should know where the power in this country is and how things can be moved in this country.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
No,
I give it to no, thank you.
Sonko has not been bad. Sonko has not been bad from
performing duties.
Performing duties. He's only been bad from accessing the office.
Okay.
It's a very important legal
Right. Thank you to make that distinction as well. And I hope Haman Manyora, Gladys, that lunch is happening. Yeah.
No, I'm not buying him lunch because I